everybody. Welcome. Here we go. It is that time again. Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, although it looks like it's about to storm out there, but it is nonetheless glorious. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester, and hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Friday, August 4, 2023. So nice to have you all with me. We do not, as we normally do on Friday, we do not have a classic film review from our friend Eric Pilcher this week. He's got a lot going on this week, so he wasn't able to join us for our Wednesday segment, and he does not have a film review for us either, but he will hopefully be back in action next week. I think he might be staging a what they call in Hollywood a sick out, which is where you're sick because, well, in Eric's case, he just really wants a T-shirt. Actually, no, I think he just has a lot going on. But no, we support him, and he'll be back next week, hopefully. So, but we do have, coming up at the top of the hour, a great musical guest joining us via Skype all the way from Texas. These Texas metal bands, I tell you, it's going to get heavy. Pass the Ammunition. And by the way, with a name like that, what other state could they be from? Of course, they're from Texas. No, this really good power metal trio. I shouldn't say power metal. That's a specific genre. They're a power trio, but they play metal. But it's definitely not power metal. It's much more aggressive. Forgive me, the faux pas. They are a power trio, and they play metal. And they're called Pass the Ammunition, and they're going to be Skyping in at 5 p.m. today. So really, really good stuff. So looking forward to talking with them. And who knows, maybe also later in the show, we'll give another spin to the newest single from Jerry and the Scumbags, the new track, Hipster Dipster. Yesterday was the world radio premiere of Hipster Dipster, and the response has already been truly remarkable. Lots of positive feedback. Everyone loves it. I think it is going to be number one with a bullet, as they say. Again, a sort of a passing reference to our musical guest coming up later today, Pass the Ammunition. Anyway, but yeah, so lots going on. Let me tell you what, by the way, and then I want to get this out of the way, and then we'll give the contact info for the show, and we'll say hello to everybody in the Facebook live chat and so on. I have some subjects today. Obviously, we do have a musical guest later, but I also have some specific subjects to discuss on the show, and none of them directly relate to Donald Trump. Now, obviously, he's been in the news quite a bit lately, if you haven't noticed. And yesterday, we spent almost the entire show, except for, the world radio premiere of Hipster Dipster. We spent the rest of the show talking about Trump's arraignment yesterday, his third one. It's a big deal. First time in history we've ever seen anything like this playing out. But I have to tell you guys, I'm starting to feel a little bit of TFS, Trump fatigue syndrome. So I kind of had this idea that I think today, because we spent almost the entire show on it yesterday, as it was happening in real time, his arraignment was at 4 p.m., the same time that this show goes on the air. I think I'd like to just get into some other things today. We live, for better or worse, we live into a fascinating world where there are always many interesting things going on. And so there's plenty of things to talk about, and some other things that I wanted to get to earlier in the week that we just didn't get to. Some serious and some more frivolous and so forth. So since we don't have Eric's film review today, maybe we'll get into some of those. But I'm already feeling that Trump fatigue syndrome setting in, and we've got a long way to go with all the Trump stuff. Now, so I'd like to take a little bit of a break from that. Now, I do have a couple of caveats to that. One being that I do like to defer to the listeners as much as possible, as much as it is feasible to do so. Sometimes you can't, but when you can, I like to. So if anyone listening, if anyone in the audience has something regarding the happenings, the goings on legally with Trump that you would like to discuss, I'm certainly open to it. So I'm not saying it's a no Trump zone today. I'm just saying I'm not looking for it. I'd like to get to some other things and not let him suck up all the oxygen. But if somebody has something that they want to discuss regarding Trump, either on the phone or in the chat room, I am certainly open to it. So I'm not making a hard, fast rule on this. I'm just kind of telling you where my head's at. And the other caveat, and this should be obvious, this goes without saying, I'm sure, but if there's some sort of big breaking news, a new development that merits our immediate attention regarding Trump's legal woes, we can certainly discuss that. But we do have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hello, Matt. It's Pauly.
Pauly C from Retro Spectrum Radio with Pauly C. How are you?
I'm doing good. Listen, I know you're going to commit the next 2 hours to talking about Donald Trump, and I'm not listening right now, so I don't know what you're talking about. So, but I know that you're going to spend the entire 2 hours talking about Donald Trump again, and I just wanted to promote the show. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry. I am listening.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to then suggest that you could easily derail that by saying something about Hunter Biden or Hillary Clinton or something. But yes.
Yeah, me? Dude, you want to talk politics with me? Let's talk about Abraham Lincoln or George Washington. All right? That's it.
Hey, two of the greats.
That's right. Two of the greatest.
Yes.
Yes. I once saw this mini series on the History Channel, probably 15 years ago. That was the 100 greatest people of the millennia of the first 1,000 years,
yes,
or the second 1,000 years, whatever it was. But anyway, Abraham Lincoln, out of all they had everybody. They had the guy who invented paper back, way back in the day, and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And Abraham Lincoln was number one.
Oh, no kidding.
Out of 1,000.
Wow. Okay. Well, good. Well,
or 100. I'm sorry. 1,000 years, 100 people.
Well, he did emancipate the slaves. Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I know, but he didn't invent paper.
That's true. Who did invent paper? And is paper the person's last name?
No, his last name is not Paper.
Oh.
And it was, I think, somewhere in an Asian part of the world.
Oh, okay.
Where they created paper.
Oh, I see. I thought maybe it was named for him. Maybe his name was Paul Paper or something. That'd be a fun thing to tell people, though, because most people won't bother to look it up. So it'd just be a fun thing to spread. Hey, did you know the guy who invented paper? His name's Paul Paper.
Paul Paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I just wanted to call and promote the show tonight.
Yes.
And then I'll let you get rid of me and you can do your thing there.
What do we have in store?
Well, tonight we have no guests. A nice quiet night between the four of us, kicking back and chilling with touchy-feely songs.
Oh. Will they make us feel amorous?
You'll blush.
Wow.
You particularly. You're a blusher. So
I am a blusher.
The songs will indeed make you blush.
Wow. Well, that's can you give us a clue? Can you give us, Paul, just one example of what is in the playlist tonight? Just one.
Sure. I Want to Kiss You All Over by Exile.
Ooh, that song does make me blush.
Yes, that's the blushing track.
I get all flushed.
But as far as the feeling part of it, feelings go way beyond just physical, Matt. And we'll be covering many different aspects of feeling through song tonight.
Feelings, nothing more than feelings. Is that in there?
You know what? I told Lisa what the topic was, our good friend Lisa, who does our voiceovers with Katie.
Yeah.
And when I told her what the topic was tonight, you know what she said? She said, feelings, nothing more than feelings, like you just did. And I'm not playing that song, by the way. That will not be aired tonight.
I was going to say, clearly it is too obvious a choice, and therefore, I'm sure you did not include it.
Right. No, it's too obvious. And we just played that song, and that song, I mean, the dude who sang it and got millions of dollars off it, ripped it off from another song from, Italy, I believe, and never told anybody. So shame on him. Shame on him.
And then Led Zeppelin stole it, too, and did their own version, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I always suspected that wasn't really theirs.
Yeah, no, it wasn't really theirs. But it sounds like it's theirs, right?
It sure does.
Yeah, and when you look at the record credits, they don't, they say it says Plant Page.
Yeah, I know. It's not right. And he's all like, baby, baby, feelings. Because that's how he used to sing back then. That was the most horrendous Robert Plant impression in the history of the world, and I I do apologize for it. I don't know why I do that. I don't know. Have you ever noticed this about me, Paul? I do these spontaneous impressions, and they're always really bad. And yet it's almost like I can't help it. It's a compulsion. I'll just do one out of nowhere for no reason. And it's always horrible, but I still do them.
There is a diagnosis for that. You have imitation Tourette's.
Imitation Tourette's, IT, yes. I wonder if there's a medication I can take for that.
It affects millions.
It does? Oh, boy.
Yes, so you're not alone.
Well, that's
Just
good.
Know that you're not alone in that. Imitation Tourette's.
That's all right. We're millions strong. See? Because that's my impression of Paul Stanley singing Crazy Nights with that line, "We're millions strong." See, it was really bad.
Right. I usually suffer from it too.
It was terrible.
I'll come out right now and let you know, but it's not with music with me. It's more like with TV shows.
Uh-huh.
I'm coming to join you, Elizabeth. We're coming to join you. Sorry.
Yeah, that is a pretty bad impression, actually. Yeah, you're right. Okay, well, yeah, I'm not alone. Yeah, that was terrible. You don't sound anything like Red Fox. Wow.
Right, exactly. And that's half the battle, half the struggle is not only breaking out in imitations, but they're bad ones.
I feel like we should start a support group.
A 12-step support group.
Yes. I think it would be great.
Right. I'll see you at 8:00.
All right, sounds good. I'll see you then, Paul. Thank you. All right, very good. Retro Spectrum Radio with Pauly C. Friday, of course, is my favorite day of the week here at WMNH 95.3 FM. I get to do double duty, and I love it. I do this show, and then I'm back at 8 p.m., of course, for Retro Spectrum Radio with Pauly C. I'm one of Paul's co-hosts on that show, along with DJ Steve and Mike from Queen City Cabinetry, who I see in the chat room, as well as DJ Steve. And Mike, also one of our co-hosts on that show, and one of our sponsors, of course, here at the station. And so that'll be a lot of fun. I always look forward to my Fridays, and Friday nights especially, getting to hang out with those guys for Retro Spectrum Radio with Pauly C. tonight, live from 8 to 11 p.m. here at WMNH 95.3 FM. I don't really break out into spontaneous, really horrendous impressions on that show. I think that's more just something I do here. So I guess I have some control over it. And it's not like I do that just walking around outside, like in my daily life. I'm not, at a grocery store or something, just randomly singing and not sounding anything like what the person who actually sings the song sounds like. So that's good. But it's nice to know that I'm not alone. I am not alone. See, that's, that song, You Are Not Alone, Michael Jackson. See, that was terrible. I just did it again. That was horrendous. I'm so embarrassed that I even attempted to do that. I didn't sound anything like him. It's a sickness, and I need help. Maybe there is a medication like imitatorol or something that I can take that will, it probably has horrible side effects. 603-250-6007 is the number, 603-250-6007 if you would like to join us on the program on the studio line. Also, you can text me at 617-917-4476. I'm on social media at Matt Connarton. You can email me, matt@mattconnerton.com. And, of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat, and we will say hello to everybody in there in a moment. But the best thing to do so that we can hear and enjoy your dulcet tones is to give us a call at 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. And if you are just joining us, we do have a musical guest coming up at the top of the hour. Past the Ammunition, a trio from Texas is going to be Skyping in. Looking forward to talking with those guys. Let's see. We will say hello to everybody in the Facebook live chat. JFed joins us from the great state of Vermont. Says good afternoon, everyone. Pauly C. also in the chat room, as well as DJ Steve. DJ Steve, by the way, said, great intro. He really liked that opening song. Yeah, that is the High Capital from the band Dust Prophet. And yeah, they're really good. Of course, I used to be in a band with Otto Kinzel from Dust Prophet. We were in a band together called Chemical Distance. And I've known Otto for like 2 decades. We've worked together on some other things as well. That's the only band we were ever in together, but I did some other promotional work for him. Oh, speaking of very talented musicians, the great Dylan Reynolds joins us in the Facebook live chat and says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Dylan. Jenny is in the chat room and says, shalom, peeps. JFed says, I'm riding solo tonight. Oh, my. Let's see. Mike from Queen City Cabinetry says, happy Friday, everyone. Pauly C reminds us, too, there will be a new Shower Time with DJ Steve tonight on Retro Spectrum Radio, a very popular segment on the program. I mean, it's a little unsettling, but very popular. Pauly C says in the chat, didn't you sing some metal tune in the style of the Bee Gees? No, it wasn't a metal tune. It was After the Lovin' by, who does that? Engelbert Humperdinck? Yeah, that was, I attempted it. In my mind, it was really funny. I was going to do, the idea was, it was a night where we were all taking turns singing. It was kind of like a karaoke night on Retro Spectrum Radio, and I had chosen, it was my idea. I wanted to sing, because I had sung After the Lovin' before, but I was going to sing it again, this time in the style of the Bee Gees. And in my mind, it was really funny. And in the car, when I did it, it was really funny. But then when I had to do it live, it was like, it wasn't clicking. I actually bailed out of the bit, which you should never do. That is a cardinal sin. You know, once you commit to the bit, you got to finish the bit. I did not finish the bit. I was mortified. I was so upset with myself, but I just couldn't pull it off. Melanie La Liberty joins us and says, hey, guys. Let's see. JFed says we are getting a much-needed thunderstorm. Being sarcastic, of course, they've had all the rain they can handle and more. Just a few weeks ago, Montpelier was basically underwater. Oh, we have I see the name on the caller ID. I think our guest is early, but that's okay. Hello, is this Blair Donnell or Donald Blair?
That's me.
Hey, how you doing? From, of course, the band Pass the Ammunition. You're a little early, but that's okay.
No, I was gonna see. I thought we had to Skype in or something. I was trying to figure out when, how to do it. But if you want to do it like this, that's fine. But
well, we can. I mean, you're on the line, and it sounds great. Is it just you?
My drummer's on his way over. The rest of the guys, my guitar player, he's like a fitness kind of guy, so he's got people that pays them to help them get their figure or whatever you call it, workout.
Yeah.
Whatever you call it.
Like a personal
Mitch,
trainer?
No telling where Mitch is at. I called him, and so I guess it's just going to be me and Robbie, the drummer.
Okay. Would it be easier for you guys to Skype in so you can both be on? Is that easier?
I'm trying to figure out how to do it, but
oh, okay. You're having an issue on your end?
You know, Jen was telling me to Skype, but I'm like, well, shoot. I thought, and a good thing I did get in touch with you because I went to the main page or whatever, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, well, there's the telephone number, so this is the number I called.
Yeah, our Skype ID is WMNH Radio, if that helps. But, I mean, you're on the phone, so, I mean, we can just do this now. Actually, do you want to, I wanted to play, to open the segment, this song, Shell, that I absolutely love. But since you're already on with us, why don't we do this? Let's can we put you on hold? I'll go ahead and play this track, and then we'll come back and talk about it, and maybe your other band member will be there at that point as well. But how's that sound?
Awesome. Sounds good.
Okay. If you don't hear anything on your end, it's sometimes people say when they're on the phone line they can't hear what's going out on the air. So if you can't hear anything, don't worry. It's just the song is playing. I'm going to play this, and then as soon as that ends, we'll bring you back in. Is it Donnell? Is that how you say your name?
Donnell.
Donnell. Okay. All right. Very good, Donnell.
Yeah, Donnell.
Gotcha. All right. Hang tight with us. We're going to listen to this great song. This is my favorite. That's why I wanted to open the segment with this. I love this song. So this is Shell from Pass the Ammunition, and Donnell from the band is on the phone with us, and we're going to talk with him right after this. Don't go anywhere. That is good stuff. That is Pass the Ammunition. That's the name of the band. The song is called Shell, and these guys are from Texas. And Donnell, are you still on the line?
Yeah, we're still here. Me and Robbie.
Oh, sorry. You and who?
Me and Robbie.
You and Robbie.
Robbie's the drummer.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. And what do you do in the band, Donnell?
I'm the bass player and singer, but you could say in the studio I do about everything in the studio.
Oh, I gotcha.
But Robbie, he's the new drummer of the band, and I put him with you.
Okay, very good. So on that track we just heard, Shell, which by the way I opened with that because that's my favorite of the songs that you sent. I love that song. It's it drives, and that who plays the solo on that? So is that you in the studio on that track, Donnell? Do you do everything on that track?
Yep, that's me playing almost everything. I do the producer does the lead, and I do a lead, and then Mitch Long does the last lead on it. So it's like 3 leads on it.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, that last lead, Mitch Long is his name. That is nasty, and I mean that in a very, very good way. You could cut glass with that solo. That is really good. Everything about that track is just really, really good. So now, are you guys a trio? Because it looks like there's 3 of you in the pictures that I saw on social media, but it sounds like there's been some
well,
flux.
Like I said, Aaron had to what do you call it? He's a fitness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's working. He's a fitness guy.
Fitness trainer.
But Robbie, he's here. But I think we're trying to decide on another guitar player. Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. How many songs have you guys recorded total? Or I guess Donnell, you specifically, how many have you recorded with this band?
We got two CDs out.
Okay.
Grill is the first one, and Firing on all cylinders. I'm sorry, it's the second one.
Gotcha.
So all in all, it's about I want to say 11 songs.
Okay. And where?
And we officially recorded a new one called I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Well, I'll tell you the title later on.
Oh, I gotcha. Not fit for FM radio. I understand. So when did this project start, Donnell? When did you start recording?
When did it start? It started around, I think, 2019.
Okay, so it's relatively new.
It started when, I was playing in some bands around here, and I just didn't feel it with these bands I was playing with. So I'm like, man, I got these songs on the shelf. I might as well get them out there and everything.
Yeah.
So I decided to start Pass the Ammunition.
I gotcha. So you started it out. So effectively, you started it out as a solo project, right? And then it grew into a band, is what it sounds like.
Well, really, it was supposed to be a band. I was going to do like Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails. I was going to do the first one myself.
Yeah.
And the second one was supposed to be a band outing, but some people came and some people went. So
yeah.
Ended up I had to do the second one myself. But hopefully, with this one, the new one's called Collateral Damage.
Okay.
I wanted to make this a band effort with everybody involved. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, some projects, you mentioned Trent Reznor with Nine Inch Nails, or another great example, of course, Dave Grohl. That first Foo Fighters album is all him, and then he put the band together after the album was already done and out. And then, of course, ever since then, it's been a full band. But yeah, I think it probably makes sense to start out that way if you're doing something new. If you start out just by yourself and you get a bunch of studio tracks done where you're in full control of what you're doing, that probably makes it easier to really establish, okay, this is what the sound is, and now we're going to go from here. I can bring in more people, but now they have a template to work with. They understand this is the sound because I've already established the sound myself. Was that kind of the idea when you went into the studio by yourself to do the first tracks?
Exactly. Like, there's some people that came to me like for this new CD that we're gonna do, Collateral Damage. I gotta put that out there again.
Yeah.
They wanted like, yeah, you can work in our studio, you can work in this studio. I'm like, no, we're gonna stay where we at, because this is the sound that I want, because it's all about the drums for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you got a good drum sound, I'm down for that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like I said, Robbie's going to be the guy that's going to be behind the wheel for that one.
Right. How do you? Can you talk to me a little bit about influences? Because when I listen to that, like that song "Shell" specifically, for example, I hear a little bit of King's X. I hear a little bit of Seven Dust. I hear a little bit of Pantera.
That's kind of funny because on the first EP we did a song called "Eraser," and that's one of Robbie's favorite right here. And this guy that used to stay with me, he's like, man, I hear some King's X in that one. I'm like,
yeah.
Man, even though nothing against King's X, I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear these different influences, but what is different is there's also a rawness. It's not the production is not particularly polished, I feel, and I mean that in a good way. That's a compliment, because I think very often metal, especially now, I was talking to somebody else about this recently on the show, how, guitars don't sound as heavy as they used to sound, and metal generally, along with everything else, I feel is a little bit overproduced and a little too clean sounding. And that to me takes out some of the rawness and the aggression of it. But your music, to me, it really retains that rawness in terms of production. It doesn't sound too slick. It sounds, it's heavy, but it's also a little rough. And I think it's fantastic. I don't know if that's what you're going for intentionally or if that just happens organically. But can you tell me a little bit about that, your approach to production?
Well, we record at Soak It Up Studios.
Okay.
And that's usually where I kept my eye on Ryan McQuiston. When I first started the band, I'm like, all right, I'm going to get this guy to do the cover of each CD, and I'm going to use this studio. Mm-hmm. Because this studio is like kind of like a studio where Phil Anselmo of Pantera, he usually send his musicians there either to rehearse or record. Mm-hmm. And everything. So the next outing and everything, I still want that same sound, but it'll probably sound a lot polished because I want to take our time to get all the songs right on the next one.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think these songs sound great, and I like that it's a little raw and not necessarily overly polished. I think it probably helps you stand out a little bit. Where in Texas are you guys, by the way?
Well, I'm in Arlington, and Robbie's where you at? Fort Worth. He's in Fort Worth.
Fort Worth, okay. Boy, hot summer, huh?
You got that right.
That's all right, though.
What? Yeah, Bobby says it's 106.
He said it's what? How hot? What did he say?
It was 106.
106? Yeah. Wow, that is hot.
How's the weather down up there? I mean,
we had a hell of a heat wave recently, but for this last week, it's been kind of cool out and a little bit rain. Well, we've had a lot of rain actually. Like right now, it's kind of it's humid, but it's not hot. But we've had the hottest summer ever here. But of course, that's how it is everywhere, unfortunately. But do you guys do you play out a lot? Or obviously, I know this whole thing is in flux right now, Donnell. But have you played out a lot with this project, or have you been? mainly focusing on
well,
recording?
the last lineup, the first show was with opening up for Accept and everything. So we played out 3 shows, I think.
Okay.
You know, and the reason why we did that was, number one, Mitch is from Oklahoma City, and number 2, we was a little bit picky about picking our gigs, but I think this time around we're gonna try to play out more and everything,
and what?
And not be picky about the shows or anything. So
sure. And what's the scene like there? It seems like, you know, Texas is known for, I mean, a lot of people who don't know any better think it's, you know, a lot of country music and whatnot, and obviously that's a lot of what's there. But it seems like there's also...
I think I'm going to give this over to Robbie. He could probably tell you better than I can.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, Robbie. Yeah, what's the scene like there? Because, you know, I was just saying... Yeah, a lot of people have this conception of Texas. It's like, you know, a lot of country music and all that. And obviously there is a lot of that there. But I get the impression there's also a lot of metal, like a lot of metal bands, probably a lot of them that, you know, we haven't even become aware of yet in this part of the country kicking around. But am I correct about that? Is there a lot of metal?
Well, yeah. I mean, it goes up and down. I mean, when I first moved up to DFW, I'm originally from the Houston area.
Yeah.
So when I first moved up here, it was booming. There was so much underground, you know, death metal, black metal, thrash, everything going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a couple of years, you know, it slowed down a little bit, and then now, you know, then it picked up a little bit, then it slowed down a little bit, and then now it's slowly but surely picking back up, you know. So
yeah,
it's always kind of come and go. I mean, you know, there's not the same venues come and go, and they're, you know, bands come and go, and you know, it's happening. There's always new bands being formed. I mean, ever since I moved up here, I've been in like six or seven different bands. So
wow.
I mean, it just, you know, every day there's a new band coming and or a new venue opening up. So it's you know, it's up and down.
Yeah, and as a drummer, of course, you've had a lot of options, I'm sure. It seems like bands are always looking for drummers.
Oh, all the time. Yeah, I mean, I have 3 different projects right now. One band I'm in is like a blackened death metal band, and this one here, thrash metal. So, I mean, my favorite thing to play, believe it or not, is actually like 80s glam metal.
Oh, no kidding.
So I'm in a couple cover bands that kind of focus around that kind of stuff too. So. Oh,
very cool. Yeah, so you're staying busy. So how did this come about, you becoming a part of this band, Pass the Ammunition?
Well, I met Donnell about 5 years ago. It's kind of a slow process. I've always been busy with other different projects and work and all that other stuff. You know how it goes.
I do.
But finally, you know, a few months ago, I had a clear schedule. Only had only have one band on my plate, so I was finally able to do it. So I knew Donnell for about 4 or 5 years now. So it was always listen to the songs, always liked the music. It just, you know, never could find the right opportunity for me to jump in. You know what I mean? Like when they needed a drummer, I couldn't do it. When they had a drummer, I could do it. You know how it goes.
Absolutely. Well, that's so. Is there kind of do you guys have any shows coming up? Like, is there a point where you're going to finally get to play live with these guys, or maybe you have already? I don't know, but
repeat that question again.
Yeah, do you have?
Oh yeah, definitely. We plan on taking it on the road too. So
good.
Like we got offered like I think it was $8,000 to come to Kentucky to play a show there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but at that point we didn't have a drummer, a real drummer. You know, we had fill-in drummer, our friend Kobe Rogers filling in. So we just didn't have a really permanent drummer to do it.
Yeah.
But we fixed to make up for that, you know, and try to do some hit the road like weekend shows. Out, whenever we got fans all over the place, so we're gonna try to hit like weekend shows, like let's say Kentucky and Tennessee, do that for a weekend and come back, or New Orleans or Florida, come back. Just places like little places like, where the fans want us to be.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, so where does the name Passy Ammunition come from? Is there a story behind that?
Well, I woke up one morning after quitting my last band. I just woke up like inspired, like, all right, what are we going to call this? And there was a song called Praise the Lord, Passy Ammunition.
Yes.
It's an old song, plus Siege from System of a Down has a song called that.
Oh, that's right.
And just Passy Ammunition itself is like, it means like, pass the metal, like, bring on the metal. To me, that's what it means to me.
Yeah.
So that's how I got the name. I just thought it'd be a cool name.
Yeah, definitely. Very cool. Well, listen, we'll wrap up with you guys in a moment. We'll let you go. I appreciate you talking with us. I'm going to play another song after we hang up with you. This track, All Is Fair. This is another great track from you guys. But before we let you go, Donnell and Robbie, what do you want our listeners to know about how to find you online? Anything they should know in terms of social media or a website so they can keep up with everything you guys are doing and get the music and all that?
Well, we on Spotify. We on YouTube. Spotify. How you say? Spotify. Robbie's cracking up over here.
That's all right. We know what you meant. It's all good.
Can you edit that?
Oh, hell no. This is live, baby.
Oh, man.
This is live.
But anyway, we're out there. Like I said, we're still trying to get manager Aaron Martinez. We're trying to reach more out there. And I appreciate you guys doing the interview with us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That means we spreading the word,
Yeah, definitely. Well, we appreciate you. I appreciate you joining us today. Like I said, I really like what you're doing. That song "Shell" is just incredible. I think that's going to be one of those tracks I do play from time to time on the program. And in a moment, we're going to play another song from you guys, "All Is Fair." But we'll let you.
All Is Fair. When we did that video. That was a hot day.
Yeah.
It was in this building, and it was about 107. And we was like sweating.
Oh my God.
And me, I was thinking like, all right, this is just going to take 2 hours. It took like almost the whole day to do that video.
Oh, no kidding.
Everything.
Yeah.
And, we had to, get in our trucks or cars in the AC just to cool off, and then go and do another take of it and everything. And we shot that video with Metal Dave. That's on tour with Pantera right now.
Oh, no kidding.
And, but the video came out great.
Yes.
I think it's a kick-ass video.
Absolutely. And by the way, I always say, I think you might agree with me, I think rock and roll should be sweaty, just generally anyway.
Oh, it was worth it. By the end of the day, it's like when we got back to my apartment, I turned on the AC high blast, and Mitch, him being the warrior, he had to drive back to Oklahoma City. I told him, like, yo, man, just chill out, cool off a little bit, but he's a warrior, he got back in the truck and trucked it back to Oklahoma City. So
yeah. No, well worth it. Very cool. I suggest people check that out on YouTube. And all right, Donnell and Robbie, we're going to let you go. I'm going to play this track, but thank you both so much for joining us today on the program. Passy Ammunition. Great talking with you guys.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
All right, you got it. All right, guys. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was Donnell and Robbie from the band Passy Ammunition. And let's play this. We're going to play this track, All Is Fair. And timing-wise, it works out well because we're coming up to the top of the hour. So we're going to play this song. I think, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play this song, And then we'll show some love to our amazing sponsors. And then I might play one more song from a certain other artist we played on the show yesterday. We might give another spin to little Jerry Robinson there. But check this out first. This is All Is Fair. This is from Texas. Pass the Ammunition right here on Matt Connarton Unleashed. Come on down to the Hop Knot at 1000 Elm Street, Manchester's premier craft beer and gourmet pretzel bar. Tell us more, Trudy.
We make our dough fresh every day. We make a variety of styles of pretzels and serve craft beer, cocktails, and a few bottles of wine. We do the traditional pretzel, and we have multiple flavors for that. We also do stuffed pretzels, pretzel sandwiches, free dessert pretzels, and pretzel knots.
The Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly. for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria. For delivery, call 603-782-8450. Clemento's Pizzeria. The best pizza in town. 1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. Best cocktails around. Come in as friends and leave as family.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all of your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Friday, August 4, 2023. As we enter our second hour of the program, numero dos, and the studio line is open, 603-250-6007. If you would like to join us, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476. I'm on social media at Matt Connarton. You can email me, matt@mattconnerton.com. And of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. But the best thing to do so that we can hear and enjoy your dulcet tones is to give us a call at 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. I want to thank the guys again, Donnell and Robbie from the band Pass the Ammunition. We've heard a couple of their songs on the show today. They are from Texas, and they Skyped in and enjoyed that quite a bit. Very much a fan of that band. And also, I played, yesterday we did the world radio premiere, but I decided to give it another spin because I love it so much. The new single from Jerry and the Scumbags, it's called Hipster Dipster, and it also features Eric Pincher on lead guitar and Billy Painter on drums, and a guy named Matzo Covington, or Covington, on bass. And by the way, I was just looking at, I didn't see this yesterday, I missed this somehow, but on the Bandcamp for Jerry and the Scumbags, in the description for the single, Hipster Dipster, it is up and it's free, by the way. You can get it on Bandcamp. It's a free download. There's a little bit of an explanation about what the song is about and what inspired Jerry Robinson, the amazing talent that he is. Jerry Robinson, by the way, I'll tell you, he's a next level talent. It says here, Hipster Dipster is about the loser young people in society with their pagers and beeper devices, rather, who don't respect old elderly people like myself. As a 69-year-old man, I get tired of the stupid prank calls, so I decided to write a song addressing my emotional old man feelings about the subject. So there you go. That kind of explains the muse of the song, Hipster Dipster. We'll get caught up with everybody in the Facebook live chat here, and then we will continue on with some stuff. Of course, let's see. I did see a couple new people pop in, I think. Yep, James Trabucchi. I'm never sure I'm saying his last name correctly. He's in the chat room. And also John Hopwood joins us in the Facebook live chat. Also, Miriam Banish in the chat room as well. Let's see. And we said hello to everyone else earlier, of course. But again, the studio line, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. And just a couple quick programming notes. Let's see. Coming up tonight, of course, it is Friday, my favorite day here at WMNH. It is my long day at the station, and I love it so because I do this show until 6 p.m. And then I'm back tonight from 8 to 11 p.m. for Retro Spectrum Radio with Pauly C. I am one of Paul's co-hosts on that show, along with DJ Steve, and of course, Mike from Queen City Cabinetry in the historic Sunbeam Mall. Of course, not only one of our great sponsors here at WMNH, but one of our co-hosts on Retro Spectrum Radio. And we have a great time. No guests this week, apparently. Paul called earlier. It's just going to be the four of us. Just the four of us. And we're going to hear some music and talk about it. And it's touchy-feely. I think that's what Paul said, touchy-feely songs this week. So looking forward to that a lot. So that will be tonight from 8 to 11 p.m. Oh, James says, as always, love the show, Matt. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that tremendously. But yeah, join us tonight. Retro Spectrum Radio with Pauly C. And by the way, we recommend, we love having people in the Facebook live chat during that show. So please join us in there on the Retro Spectrum Radio Facebook page. But open a second browser tab and stream the audio of the show at WMNHradio.org. Paul actually mutes the Facebook feed so we don't get kicked off for violating their copyright rules. But then so you can chat with us. We love being able to chat with the listeners on Facebook, but open a separate browser tab so you can stream the show in all of its uninterrupted stereo glory at WMNHradio.org. Melanie just asked a very inappropriate question in the Facebook live chat, Melanie. I don't think I can read that on the air, but I will just say this. I'll just say this much, Melanie. You never know. I'll leave it at that. Let's see. Oh, also, too, we have our amazing sponsor, the Hop Knot, in the Brady Sullivan right across the street. They've got those delicious gourmet pretzels. They have their ever-burgeoning assortment of craft beers, and they've got a big event coming up this weekend. This is what they put on social media. We took July off, but this Saturday we are back with our next installment of the Gender Blender Drag Show. Join us at 10 p.m. on Saturday, August 5, as some of your favorite local drag performers serve up some Broadway realness. This is a 21-plus show with no cover. We will reach capacity for this show, so please get here early if you'd like a seat. If you're not here by 9, then you may not get a seat. Yeah, this is a very popular feature at the Hop Knot. When they do these, they fill up very quickly. So if Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida, if he happens to be in the state campaigning, he might not be able to get in over at the Hop Knot because there might just not be room. And we have a call. We'll grab this. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hello?
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 That voice is familiar, but there's also this weird buzzing in the background. I wonder if it's some sort of alien.
I've been captured, Matt.
Oh my goodness, it's John Hopwood. You've been captured and probed, I assume. How is that going?
Not very well.
Uh-huh. Well, that's disappointing. But you can only...
What can I say?
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm in some kind of factory creating these anatomically correct dolls.
I see. How did they capture you? Did they suck you in through the satanic portal?
No. I never have any problems with satanic portals.
Well, that's quite a relief.
This was just a stretch, the flying sauce that comes down and just snatched me up.
Uh-huh. All right.
I'm like, Grandpa Simpson. I really, when they're after you, I'm very easy to get. I don't move very fast.
That surprises me because you're kind of a little guy. I would have assumed that you'd be very quick and wily.
You would assume, but that would just make an ass out of you and me.
I've never heard that before. Wow. Wow. All right.
Boy, yeah.
Yeah.
We use cliches here at the factory.
Oh, you do, huh? So they've so it's forced labor is what you're. So these aliens are forcing you to work in a factory. Is it a factory or is it an Amazon distribution center?
Oh no. Well, I with my great experience, I'm an overseer, so you know these poor drudges here, you know. Being a small man, I learned to be very nasty at an age because you got to do something so you don't get the crap knocked out of you in the pre-Ritalin days before they drugged all the boys, you know. So I just shout a lot, you know. I don't think some of these people, not all the people here are of human origin, Mac.
Well, that sounds terrifying, not to be xenophobic, but I'd be very frightened.
Yes, you're being homophobic as in human beings, or I didn't catch that. Because, you know.
Xenophobic. I don't mean to be xenophobic, but it sounds terrifying to be around beings that are not necessarily human.
Well, you know, I was in the Army, and there were a lot of people from the Deep South, you know, the type that vote for, you know, people like Rick DeSantis. So I'm kind of used to being around subhuman life forms, but non-human life forms, you know, I'm getting used to.
Okay.
You'd be surprised where, you know, while we're putting on these anatomically correct dolls, not all of them are of the human species, Mac, and you'd be surprised where the genitals are located on some extraterrestrial creatures.
Yes.
Oh,
I believe there's something about that in Star Trek VI, the Undiscovered Country. But we won't get into that. But yeah. All right. Well, I hope you're okay. I hope they are giving you food and water. And what can I say? Sounds frightening.
Well, it was my idea to you know, type in WMNH 95.3 FM. And I was just wondering, we heard about the Paul Cormier show.
Yes.
There's a reason we don't use the word retro here.
Oh.
Because there were people that, yes, they exist through an infinity of time, you know. Where Alpha or Omega. One of these people might actually be God, a.k.a. Donald Jesus Trump. Who knows, you know?
That's exciting.
But, so, you know, we don't want to be time bigots here. But
right.
So the Paul Cormier show we heard about, but we were wondering if Mr. Pilchard is going to be doing a film review today.
There is no film review this week. He has been quite busy. He was not able to join me Wednesday, and he was not able to provide a film review today. But hopefully he'll be back for the attack next week.
Well, hopefully I'll still be within this galaxy.
Well, I certainly hope so.
You guys have a nice time. And I do get a discount on the anatomically correct dolls. I may be in the process of evolving into a wholesaler. Think about that.
All right. Well, that's you've got to seize upon these opportunities when they present themselves.
Hey, cut that out over there. Hey, I gotta go. You know, some of these creatures are acting up.
I understand.
This is a non-union shop, needless to say.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, John. All right, John Hopwood. Well, we certainly hope for the best in his new intergalactic adventure. That does open up the line for you, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. Rhonda Favero joins us in the Facebook live chat and says, I swear I'm going to fly out there from Cali just to go to the Hop Knot. I'm jonesing for one of those pretzels. Yes, they are delicious. They are delicious. And Melanie had a specific question in the chat room about what's happening to John Hopwood right now. And I can't answer that, Melanie, but I just hope that I hope that he survives it all. We'll just say that. Another quick programming note, too. Yesterday on the show, we announced that Marianne Williamson, a Democratic candidate for the presidential nomination, she's running against Joe Biden for the nomination. She will be here not on the original date that we had announced, but on, I believe, the 22nd. She's not able to be here on the 18th as was originally planned, but she'll be here for the first hour on August 22nd. So we look forward to that. Really looking forward to meeting her and talking with her. There's the sirens. Happens once a show. Lots of sirens outside. Let's see. A couple just quick things I wanted to look at that happened earlier in the week. And if you're just joining us, I'm kind of avoiding all the Trump stuff. I'm getting that Trump fatigue syndrome. I can feel it. It's just exhausting. So I know it's a big week. Yesterday, we spent almost the entire show talking about Trump's arrangement as it was happening in real time, because it was at 4:00 the same time the show starts. So I'm a little bit exhausted by all that. So again, I said at the top of the show, if you're just joining us, if anyone wants to chime in on anything regarding that, I shall defer to you, as I like to accommodate the listeners. But left to my own devices, we're not going to get into that. We've got plenty of time in the future because God knows he's going to continue to dominate the political headlines. But I'd like to do some other things for the moment. But obviously, if there's some big breaking news or whatever regarding Trump, we'll certainly talk about it if that occurs in the next 40 minutes or so. But Cardi B, if you saw this, she threw a microphone at an attendee at one of her at a concert. So this has been a terrible trend. And, as someone who also, I'm a man of many hats. And, I do some work have done a lot of work actually in the music industry and in concert promotion and so forth. And you hate to see this new trend now where people are throwing things at artists while they're on stage performing. Now, that's not entirely new, but it seems to be becoming more dangerous. Like, people are throwing cell phones. Why anyone would throw a cell phone at someone performing is a little... I mean, I think the idea is you throw your phone at the performer and you hope that they'll catch the phone and then maybe take a selfie while they're on stage of themselves performing and then throw the phone back to you. I think that's the idea. That really enhances the concert performance if you can throw a phone at the artist and they actually... And then you've actually got their DNA on your phone, right? Because they're holding your phone and they're sweating on your phone because they're under the hot stage lights, and then they throw it back to you. I think that's the fairy tale idea. Of course, there's so much that can go wrong if you're going to throw a phone at somebody on a stage. And by so much, I mean really everything. There's not much that can go right. Chances are they're not going to catch it, but you might hit them in the face with it. And even if they were to successfully catch it and take a picture, it's not like they're going to be able to just throw it right back to you. There's a good chance you're not going to get your phone back. But something else happened with Cardi B. Somebody threw a drink in her face, so she threw her microphone at the alleged fan in the audience. But there's an update on this. You got to see the video of this. But Shannon is on the line. We'll talk to Shannon for a moment. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Matt.
What's up?
Jenny. I had a question. These asshats that are throwing things at the stage.
Yes.
Does security grab them and just throw them out?
Oh, I'm sure. Yes.
Because I don't know if it shows that also. Or explains the punishment, I mean, these guys are trying to make a living and trying to entertain people, and you always got those... I don't know what I'm allowed to say. Well, I know what I'm not allowed to say, but I don't know if this is okay, so I won't say it. I mean, actually, John Hopwood said asinine once.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I can say that. They just stay home.
Yeah.
Or they should hand in all their cell phones and be told, listen, if you throw something, you're out. on your rear end.
Yeah. Well, I think that goes without saying, or at least it should go without saying. And I assume that probably the kind of person who does that, they expect to be kicked out. If you're throwing something at somebody on stage, you're definitely getting booted by security, assuming they're able to identify in that crowd who it is who threw the offending object.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Pete. How disgusting does this world have to get for people to wake up and just enjoy what's out there and not abuse it, you know?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not an entirely new trend. I mean, I've been at shows where I saw the band...
in the past, underwear or bras, soft things.
That's
cell phones,
that's
right?
always okay. Melanie was saying that in the chat room. Throwing underwear is still okay, right? Well, of course. But that's not going to harm anyone. And you know, in the especially in the 80s with the hair bands, it was not uncommon to see, you know, somebody actually, there's a video of Kiss, you know, where, you know, Paul Stanley catches a bra that somebody threw on stage and then he hangs it off of the neck of his guitar. But but I've been at shows where, I mean, this would have been probably 15 years ago. I saw Disturbed at a festival in Massachusetts where, for some reason, people were throwing things at Dave Draymond. And, you know, it was just, you know, the crowd, most of the crowd obviously were very into it. I think that Disturbed was actually the headliner of the show. And, but for some reason, there were some people close to the front of the stage who were throwing stuff. And Dave Draymond actually stopped and said, you know, if you keep that up, we're just going to leave. We're just going to stop playing and leave. And they did stop. They did stop throwing things.
Oh, so. I was hoping you were going to say, if you don't stop it, I'm going to come down there and kick your ass.
Well, Dave Draymond...
Because actually, you know, he has the right. You know, he was assaulted first.
Yeah, well, yeah, and he's kind of a big... I mean, he's not a tall man, but he's muscular. I wouldn't mess with him. I remember... I was just going to say, Shannon, too, I remember back in the 90s, like when Guns N' Roses was first getting big, there was video. I remember seeing, you know, this was pre-internet, but we would see the video on MTV of... or in the news of Axl Rose jumping into the crowd, not because people were throwing things, but because he would see a fight going on, you know, toward the front row, and he would get mad and he would jump in and defend whoever was getting pushed around, which is, you know, Axl, you can say a lot of negative things about him, but he did. I mean, I don't know if he would do that now, but back then he was not afraid to get in there. And, you know, if he saw somebody getting pushed around, he'd jump in and defend them. He didn't want that going on at their shows.
Right, and I'm not going to harp on the fact of my vision, but, you know, even watching videos or movies repeatedly, I miss a lot of things, you know, a lot of the little things or whatever. So it's just good, you know, whatever, intel to know that, you know, people are such, I don't know, shape up.
That's right. Do better.
You know, you have the privilege of seeing these guys play. And I saw, I remember when I was in high school, I saw Loverboy and Dawkins down at Arms Park.
Yeah.
And I saw a couple at, I saw Neil Diamond at Verizon.
Oh.
I'm still going to call it that. And there was one, I think it was Motley Crue, Skid Row, and someone else. I don't know, but it was three of the hair bands, like, you know. And, I mean, that was, you know, good. But those are the only concerts I've been to.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, so.
No. I've been to lots and lots.
Well, good. Share every now and then when you're at a loss for something, share stories so I can see what I missed.
Okay.
Double entendre there.
Yes. All right, Shannon.
Okay. You give Jenny a big hug for me.
Of course.
And, yeah, have a good weekend.
All right,
and fun tonight with the touchy-feely songs.
Yes, yes. All right, Shannon, thank you for the call. We appreciate it.
All righty, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that was our friend Shannon, and that does open up a line for you, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You know what I was just thinking about, too? And we've actually talked about this on Paul's show, on Retro Spectrum Radio, I think more than once, is not just people throwing things, but there was a trend, I don't know, probably in the late 2000s, people showing up at concerts with those laser pointers. And there's a couple of videos of this happening at Kiss shows where Paul Stanley, threatened to do something really uncomfortable to someone who had a laser pointer with the laser pointer. But that's dangerous too, because if you could actually harm someone's retina if you get them in the eye with that laser pointer. It's not funny. So you don't even have to actually throw a physical object to potentially harm someone on stage. Kyle Clayton from The Morning Show is in the chat room. He says, I'd throw more than a mic if someone did that. Yeah. If someone threw a drink in your face at a show. Yeah. It's interesting. So when I first heard the story in the news about Cardi B throwing a microphone at somebody in the crowd, the mental picture that I had was different than the reality of it. The mental image was she's on a stage in an arena doing a concert, and somebody throws a drink. Because you can, we've all seen this happen. You can be in a big crowd, in an arena crowd, and if you've got a cup full of a drink, if you do it just right, you can make that whole cup full of whatever's in it fly and hit somebody in the face from a distance. And that's what I thought had happened when I heard that someone had thrown a drink in her face. I thought somebody in the crowd had thrown a cup of Coke or whatever and thrown it at her, and it hit her. And then she threw the mic at the person in the crowd. And based on that assumption that I had in my mind when I first heard the story, my first thought was, wow, I hope she has really good aim. Because if you're throwing a microphone into a crowd like that, you better make sure you're throwing it at the right person, number one. Not that it's a good idea at all. You shouldn't do that because, again, there's just too much that can go. Obviously, there's a lot that can go wrong with throwing whatever it is that's being thrown to begin with, and you shouldn't do that. But you also shouldn't respond by throwing something like a microphone at somebody because, again, first of all, your aim better be perfect or you're going to hit the wrong person. Second of all, you could cause serious injury. Even though the person, even if you do definitely hit the right person, you could really mess them up if it hits them in the face. I mean, look, I know, not going to have a whole hell of a lot of sympathy for whoever threw the drink or whatever the object is that they're throwing at somebody. An argument could be made. They brought that on themselves, but still, if you really injure them in some way by throwing that microphone at them, you're going to end up with a lawsuit. Yeah, there's a lot that can go wrong. You might be charged with assault because what they threw was something harmless like a drink and you threw something hard. Anyway, when I saw the actual video of what happened, it was not what I imagined. It's actually like she's doing a small show somewhere, and it's like, just from what I saw in the video, she's right at the edge of the stage, right up close. And they didn't throw a cup. They just kind of threw it so where, they moved the cup quickly so that the drink actually, like you would do if you were sitting with somebody and you throw a drink in someone's face, or if someone throws a drink in your face. Not that that's ever happened to me, but, like that. That's what it really was. Somebody got up close to her and just threw that drink in her face, and then she responded by chucking that microphone right at them. But, they got her good. Like, her face is covered in whatever was in that cup. So she chucked the microphone right at them. And I don't blame her. John Hopwood in the Facebook live chat says, why doesn't someone throw a bagel at Chris Christie? Because it could be fatal to the thrower as he stampedes to devour the bag of baked goods. That's what we call fat shaming, John. And I don't think we can do that. Oh, my goodness. John Hopwood also says, don't be so earnest, Mac. Let's see. Now, apparently, there was some question about whether Cardi B would be charged for battery because of throwing that microphone. But the BBC, John Hopwood says, fat shaming? I am fat. Well, that's why you can get away with it. You can get away with, like I could tell an Irish joke because I'm Irish, so I can get away with it. But that's true. You can play that card and use that loophole. That is true. So this is from the BBC. U.S. police drop battery investigation, overthrown microphone. It says the Las Vegas police have dropped their criminal battery investigation into an incident in which saw rapper Cardi B throw a microphone at someone in the crowd. The incident occurred. John Hopwood's making me laugh in the chat. The incident occurred last weekend after a member of the audience appeared to throw water at the performer. At least it was only water and not some soda or some alcoholic beverage. You know, water is easy to clean up. A video of the star taking matters into her own hands at Dre's Beach Club was widely shared on social media at the time. I assume that's how you pronounce that. D-R-A-I, Drea, I don't know. But she will now face no charges due to, quote, insufficient evidence, police said. Insufficient evidence? I mean, I'm glad she's not being charged because whoever threw a drink in her face to begin with shouldn't have done that. But insufficient evidence is video of it. It says here, this is from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department in a statement shared to the media, quote, after a thorough review of this case and with the consultation from the Clark County District Attorney's Office, this case has been closed as having insufficient evidence. No charges will be filed in relation to this case, unquote. I wonder if it's the person whom the microphone was thrown at. I wonder if they didn't come forward or they didn't want to press charges or something. You know, they're probably pretty embarrassed about, you know, throwing a drink in her face and consequences thereof, knowing that they had made a terrible mistake. It says here, lawyers for the Grammy Award winner responded by thanking the police for their, quote, diligent and prompt resolution of this matter, unquote, in a statement reported by multiple outlets. So what happened? In the footage caught on camera from multiple angles by several fans. See, that's one good thing about, you know, everybody's got their phones out. Some people complain about that. People don't think it's cool, you know, to have your phone out at a show because why can't you just stand there and enjoy the show? Why do you have to have your phone out? Why do you have to be taking pictures and streaming and everything? I don't see anything wrong with it. You know, you want to document the experience. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. But also a good thing about it is if something goes wrong, you know, you've got it caught on tape. So it says here, in the footage caught on camera from multiple angles by several fans, security staff are seen surrounding the perpetrator at the front of the crowd while recovering the rapper's microphone. Footage from earlier in the concert showed Cardi B asking a different member of the audience to spray her from behind as she turned her back to the crowd. Huh? Is this so? All right. I don't know what's going on here at this show, but that sentence that I just read is very strange. Later, what's going on here? Later in the show, the 30-year-old explained the earlier spray had been... I'm uncomfortable reading this. All right. Just going to do it. I mean, there's nothing, it's just my own mind putting things in there that shouldn't be there. Later in the show, the 30-year-old explained the earlier spray had been done on her back and under her own instruction, whereas she objected to the other member of the crowd unexpectedly throwing water, which hit her face. Las Vegas police later confirmed that a show attendee had come forward to report a battery, but have now concluded that no crime was committed. The microphone in question was reportedly being auctioned off on eBay, reaching more than $99,000 so far by the owner of an audio company. Oh, so whoever owns that microphone, they're selling it, and it's now a piece of entertainment history, apparently. Cardi B is best known for, well, we don't need to get into all that. All right. She is the latest performer to have had items... Some of these song titles we don't need to get into. She's the latest performer to have had items thrown at them while on stage in recent months, following similar incidents, including Harry Styles and Pink. Styles was hit in the eye with a sweet at a gig in November? What does that mean? With a sweet? Like a piece of candy, I guess? It's the BBC. I guess they say sweet instead of pieces of candy. I don't know. This is why we had to have the American Revolution, because they use words and I'm confused by some of them. Why can't they speak American like the rest of us? Anyway. Styles was hit in the eye with what I assume was a piece of candy in November, and more recently, Pink looked stunned. Oh, God. That's right. I heard about this. When a bag of human ashes was thrown on stage. I have to tell you, I would be quite stunned as well. Like if I was sitting here, let's say I'm sitting here doing the radio show one day and just somebody runs in here with a bag of human ashes. Well, actually, I would probably invite them on because I'd be so fascinated. I'd want to know why they chose to do that. You know, and whose ashes there were and whatnot, because I like to interview people. I have an inquisitive mind. I'm curious. Sweet but psycho singer Ava Max, I guess that's a band, has also been slapped on stage of late, while somebody else threw a bracelet at country singer Kelsey Ballerini. Adele recently joked with her Las Vegas audience that she would kill anyone who tried to chuck something at her. Well, there you go. So that's a terrible trend. I hope it passes soon. Very often these trends do, which is good. At some point, some degree of collective sanity is restored, or at least we can hope. Shannon's calling back. Hi, Shannon.
Hi. I just wanted to say the girl who she asked Pink if she could put those ashes. It was her mother's ashes.
Oh.
And her mother must have, she loved Pink and just asked her if she could put them there while she played. And Pink was like, okay, maybe. She was a little uncomfortable, awkward, but that's whose ashes it was. At least that's what I heard on another story.
No, that's good. So it's not like somebody threw a bag of their mother's ashes at Pink.
They placed it by the speaker.
Oh, okay. Oh, and so the ashes.
And they asked permission first.
Yeah. Well, okay, so that's good. So that's in a completely different category, because not only was nothing thrown, but I do think, and I credit my family for raising me right. I have manners. I'm unfailingly polite. I think if you are going to put a bag of ashes on a stage while someone is performing, you should ask their permission.
Yeah, it's respectful.
Right. It would be presumptuous to show up with a bag of ashes and just plop them there and say,
or
hey,
throw them, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Pink, look, it's my mom, and just throw them there. You want to, it's something you want to approach with some decorum and and respectfully. So I commend the person for that.
Yeah. I just wanted to let you know who ashes were.
Yes, I appreciate it, Shannon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Yes, I mean, and it's a teachable moment. If you're gonna show up with ash, I would say anywhere. If you're say you're going out to dinner with some friends and maybe you have some ashes from a loved one and, you want to bring them with you, go ahead and bring the bag of ashes. But before you just plop it on the table in the middle of dinner, you're going to want to maybe check with the restaurant. There could be a health code violation potentially there. And you want your other dinner partners to make sure, they're going to be cool with it, right? If it's your mom's ashes, they're going to be like, oh yeah, your mom can hang out with us, kind of wish, she wasn't a bag of ashes. That's a little weird, but whatever, we'll roll with it. We're your friend and we support you. But, the waiter or waitress or server, I guess is the term we use, they might be a little bit freaked out. But then again, they wouldn't have to know. They could come over to take your order and they could just be like, hey, you got a bag of ashes there. And you could just say, oh, yeah, that's don't worry about it. It's we're going to have some herbal tea after our meal or something, and just to kind of, calm everything down. 603-250-6007 is the studio line. If you'd like to join us, 603-250-6007. We do have a little bit of time left. Melanie in the chat room says, listen, Grandma always liked being included for dinner. I'm not asking anyone. Well, yeah, it's your grandma, I understand. But Melanie, I would hope that if you're going to go to a concert and, you want your grandma to, hang out by the one of the speakers, I would hope that you would ask the performer, or maybe even just check with one of the security people. Hey, I got grandma here. Mind if I put her over there for a bit? And would you mind keeping an eye on her? And by the way, though, just because she's my grandma, don't treat her like she's special. If she starts acting out or whatever, feel free to kick her out, but probably not going to happen because, she's ashes. All right. I don't even know what that means, John, exactly, but it's funny for some reason. Speaking of, now this is, since we're being morbid, on a Friday, I want to kind of pick up on, there was a story we talked about yesterday on the show. Oh, so I guess we didn't spend yesterday entirely on Trump, because I think I talked about this yesterday, or maybe it was the day before. Ron DeSantis said, and there's been some reaction to this now. Ron DeSantis said, governor of Florida has a little bit of an issue with trans people. Ron DeSantis has said that when he is elected president, he's going to get rid of the deep state because he's going to start slitting their throats. Now, that's some pretty violent imagery. Just to be clear, I'm not speaking hyperbolically. I'm not paraphrasing anything he said. He literally said that. He said he's going to start slitting the throats of people when he's president, when he's in charge. He literally said that. I understand he's using it as a figure of speech. I'm assuming he's not actually a serial killer. But apparently there's been some reaction to his use of violent imagery, and I want to look at that. Melanie says he's a psychopath. Yeah, I kind of get that vibe. And I believe John Hopwood is back on the line. Hello. I heard a click, though. I don't know if he's still there. John, are you there? All right, he's not there. So apparently for a major Republican candidate to go around talking about slitting people's throats, some people have noticed. This is from The Guardian. Outrage after DeSantis says he'd start slitting throats if elected president. National Treasury Employees Union president calls Republicans' remark on federal jobs repulsive and unworthy of campaign trail. It says here, right-wing Florida governor and 2024 presidential hopeful Ron DeSantis was widely condemned after he said that if elected to the White House, he would, quote, start slitting throats, unquote, in the federal bureaucracy on his first day in power. And by the way, too, this does this make him, I mean, he spends a lot of time sort of trying to get to the right of Trump. Does this qualify? Because Trump, when he ran the first time, he just talked about draining the swamp. He was gonna get to DC and he was gonna drain the swamp. I don't remember Trump ever talking about slitting throats. I think this is John Hopwood again. John, are you there?
Yeah, I got a quick break, Matt.
Oh, you did? Wow, they give you breaks?
You can sneak. I'm a supervisor, you know.
Oh, that's right. Yes, and you're probably in a union.
You really don't know what the phrase "getting your ashes hauled" means?
I've never heard that in my life. What does that mean?
You've never heard?
No.
Getting your ashes hauled?
No. Does that mean like getting your ashes hauled to a concert where you get dumped on the stage? What does that mean?
Well, let's put it this way.
Is it something dirty?
I don't want to cause any trouble between you and Jenny, so I'll use myself as an example.
Okay.
If one of these comely young, well, we use the term women for now, even though some are of indeterminate gender, being from other galaxies. If one of these young women at the factory came up and said to me, who, because of her ignorance, finds me a dandy specimen of human being, a real paradigm of studdom.
Mm-hmm.
If she came up to me and said, "I'd like to haul your ashes," what she means is she wants to do to me what Donald Trump has done to this country for the past 6 years.
Oh, that's very dirty.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Okay. And I'm glad you're off that subject about people throwing ashes at rock and roll stars because it was getting pretty boring, frankly, and I felt like I was going to have to come down there and slit your throat.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. That's so violent.
I'm just joshing you, Matt.
Oh, good. Thank goodness.
You have a good time with Pauly C.
All right. Thank you, John.
This shift goes on for a long time, so we'll be listening.
All right. Very good. Thank you.
Bye, and don't get your ashes hauled by any aliens.
That's good advice in any dimension.
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. That was John Hopwood. If you'd like to get in with a quick call, I say quick because we are rapidly running out of show. 603-250-6007 is the studio line, 603-250-6007. It says here, the president of the National Treasury Employees Union, Tony Reardon, called the hardline Republicans' comment repulsive and unworthy of the campaign trail. The president of the American Federation of Government Employees, Everett Kelly, said, quote, Governor DeSantis' threat to start slitting throats of federal employees is dangerous, disgusting, disgraceful, and disqualifying, unquote. Among commentators, the columnist Max Boot called DeSantis' words deranged, while Bill Kristol, founder of The Bulwark, a conservative site, said the governor was, quote, making a bold play to dominate the maniacal psychopath lane in the Republican primary, unquote. By the way, he kind of already owns that lane. I guess he wants to make sure that he continues to claim it. DeSantis is a clear second to the Republican in the Republican primary by more than 30 points behind Donald Trump in most averages, notwithstanding the former president's proliferating legal jeopardy, including 78 criminal charges. On Friday, a major poll in the New York Times and Siena College in the first state to vote, Iowa, put DeSantis 24 points behind. DeSantis is widely seen to be trying to reset his campaign, having fired staffers, including a conservative writer who created a video ad containing a Nazi symbol. But the governor has not noticeably retooled his hard-right rhetoric. DeSantis made his comment about slitting throats at an event in the second state to vote, New Hampshire, last Sunday. Quote, on bureaucracy, we're going to have all these deep state people, we're going to start slitting throats on day one and be ready to go. You're going to see a huge, huge outcry because Washington wants to protect its own, unquote. Asked later to clarify, he said, quote, the streets will be flowing with blood. No, I made that part up. He didn't say that. Complaints about the so-called deep state, notionally an embedded government of officials and bureaucrats Republicans claim exists to thwart their agenda, is a common feature of far-right campaigns from Trump down. Should he return to power, Trump is widely reported to be planning it doesn't matter. That's stuff we all already know that we've already been talking about. But so that's so some reaction to DeSantis's comments there. A little off-putting, I would say. A little off-putting. Let's see. Do we have time for one more quick thing? Oh, you know what we didn't get to this week is, actually, there's a couple things. Our credit rating, the United States credit rating, has been downgraded by one of the ratings agencies, and it took a while for it to happen, but NBCnews.com has a story what the U.S. credit downgrade means for taxpayers and consumers. For now, not much is changing, but economists say it represents a warning about America's fiscal standing. Something that I talked about a lot when we had that, where we almost went over the fiscal cliff this last time, is that, I don't think a lot of people necessarily realize that even flirting with disaster without the disaster actually coming to fruition is very dangerous when you're talking about the debt limit. And this is not the first time. This is the second time now. The first time that our credit rating was downgraded by one of the agencies, one of the credit ratings agencies, was during the Obama administration when in 2011 we came perilously close to default for the first time in our nation's history. So even going up to the edge, we didn't go over the edge, and people celebrate that. And I was relieved, of course. I was very concerned about what could potentially be global economic Armageddon if we were to ever actually default. But even looking like we might default, like it's a possibility, is in and of itself very, very dangerous. John Hopwood says in the chat room, Dr. Jeff Cassell says it is too minor to really affect the U.S. finances. Hopefully that's true. That does seem to be the dominant theory, actually, that this won't have a huge effect. But that's not to say that it won't have any effect. And, my point is, again, it does show that there is a cost to, even if we don't go over that line, even if we don't go over the cliff, just walking up to the edge of the cliff and sort of standing there and looking down, that has a cost. John Hopwood says, oh my God, Matt, you are so earnest. I am earnest. I'm like an Ani DeFranco song. I'm very, very earnest. But so anyway, there was that. That was one thing that we didn't really get to this week. Maybe we'll get into it a little bit next week. Also, too, if we get to it next week, TheHill.com has a story up. GOP releases Devin Archer transcript after lawmakers give conflicting accounts. Devin Archer is a former business associate of Hunter Biden. He went and testified in a closed hearing, and the transcript is out. You can read the transcript, but of course, as always happens, everyone goes to their ideological corners. Republicans claiming that, this Devin Archer testimony, this proves once and for all that Hunter Biden is a international crime lord and Joe Biden is a part of this Biden crime family and all of that. And Democrats are saying, no, actually, this is entirely the opposite of that. But you can read the transcript itself and make your own determination. I have not read the transcript yet, but there are very differing interpretations being offered right now. So we will try to get into that next week as well. But we need to begin to wrap up. So it is Friday, my favorite day here at WMNH. So that means I will be back tonight at 8 p.m., 8 to 11 p.m. for Retro Spectrum Radio with Pauly C. And, of course, DJ Steve and Mike from Queen City Cabinetry. Really looking forward to that tonight. The subject this week, I should say, because it's a weekly show, is touchy-feely songs. And it sounds like it will be very romantic. John Hopwood says it would be a privilege to live through Armageddon. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if about a privilege. JFed in the chat room says, see you tonight. So thank you again, by the way, to Donnell and Robbie from the band Pass the Ammunition from the great state of Texas. Really enjoyed talking with them. And if you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org and at my website, mattconnerton.com. Don't forget our amazing sponsor, The Hop Knot. They've got those delicious gourmet pretzels. And tomorrow night at 10 p.m., they've got another, it's been a little while, they've got another gender blender event. Just make sure you get there early if you want to be a part. Well, not a part of the show. Well, maybe a part of the show. I don't know. But if you want to be in the audience, because that tends to be standing room only. They get to capacity very quickly with the gender blender. All right. So that's going to do it for me for now. I'm going to leave you with a little more. Yesterday we did the world radio premiere of the new Jerry and the Scumbag song, Hipster Dipster. I think we're going to play the first single to close out the show just because it's stuck in my head and I feel like hearing it. I'm the Man. The great Jerry Robinson. This is great stuff. So we will end with this to close out today's Matt Connarton Unleashed. Thank you all so much. Everybody have a great, wonderful, safe weekend. Oh, and don't forget, I need to get into the habit of plugging this. Tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, from 7 to 9 a.m. is a classic episode of The Morning Show with Peter White. And then from 9 to 11 a.m., the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed. So you can spend your Saturday mornings with us. All right, we got to go. We are out of here. We'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
When I drive by, the ladies scream. When you coming over, Jerry? You know I'm really cool. Very handsome, too. I'm not some stupid fool. You know what? Let me tell you who I am. I'm the man. I do what I want because I can. I'm the best. All of you losers are just a pest. Pockets loaded, full of cash. I'm the mower, you're the grass. I'm a rock star, you will see. I've got more money than MTV. I'm not very mean. Silver Fox on the scene. I love it when all the ladies scream. Oh, Jerry!